All right. Welcome back to another week on the Daily Close. This is joined by the two fellows of Masters of the TA, that is knxqtr, as well as myself here, Crypto-pleb, and we're gonna go over BTC or Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's a lot of movement going on in the market these days, so we think there might be some good opportunities for those of you who are curious enough. But without further ado, of course, this is just for fun. This is our hobby as well. So please understand it's not financial advice. So don't just ape into these things without doing some good research first. And of course, if you can give us a like, subscribe, if you can also hit the bell notification, especially if you can give us some comments as well. It helps us with the algorithm. It gets people to come and notice our videos. So we're just going to ask you guys just to give us a little bit more love so we can keep coming with more videos every week for you. Now let's head over to BTC. So yeah, let's just start off with our favorite Bitcoin market cap BTC dominance. And so, looking here on the weekly now, at least for the weekly, we're starting to trend a bit up again. I mean, it's been heading this way for a while. I think in the previous video that I had showed that most that we're looking at the daily as well. And actually, let me just blow this up too. But I mean, actually, just on the daily, I think last video probably fit 14. Yeah, probably about I think we're about the 17th. Yeah, that would be that Sunday. Yeah, I mean, we're still just been trending up. Still money is flowing steadily into BTC. Before we mentioned that, it's likely due to some of the larger players being able to start, funds or tap into the future space with cryptocurrency, particularly with Bitcoin as well. So this has been a force that's been moving more and more liquidity into this market. So, but I mean, yeah, you can just see it's quite comfortably heading up. Same thing on the weekly as well. Weekly, for the past couple of weeks, we've been, it's the same upward pattern that we like to see. I would say that we're above the 20-day moving average as well on the Bollinger Bands. Now, of course, I have my Ichimoku Cloud up as well. And with Ichimoku Cloud, I'll just kind of show it for the viewers here as well. White is the baseline, and the conversion line is my blue. And so it looks like from here, we've been over these past couple of weeks, we've been slowly closing the gap to the baseline. I'm thinking that within the next couple of weeks on the weekly, we're going to start passing above this baseline if we keep going the same trajectory. This could just continue to spell good things, incredibly more bullish sentiment for Bitcoin overall. And still we got room to go on the RSI. This is only in the mid, about almost exactly at 50. So, there's not really any big indications to show why this would just pull back rampantly. I think it should continue to go at this pace. I would go down to lower time frames. However, I mean, this is Bitcoin dominance. This just seems to be better to be seen, or sorry, reviewed on a longer time frame, just because it looks at the market at such a macro level, taking into account how BTC compares with the other assets in the market. But I don't think I'll go any further down from here. Overall, still the dominance of BTC is just still truly bullish. And now we just head into our core asset here for BTC to the US dollar. So yeah, here as well, let me just bring this back up to weekly. Lately I've been starting from the daily, but I think taking in a good page from the book of those who are wiser than me, like knxqtr, should probably take a look at a little bit of a higher time frame. But I mean, boy oh boy, this just continues to be a chart that would draw the attention of anybody. As you can see here, we've just been continually heading up. Actually, I'll just even go further back so we can get a full scope. Actually, that's actually okay. We're going back into years now. Let's just go ahead and talk about in 2020 Jan. Well, yeah, we started having. So I mean, if you remember, just a recap of history. From 2020, I think it really started to pop off around the same time last year. We had an absolute bloody movements here. This is about October time. So yeah, this is last year, our same time here. Okay. And so the same kind of trajectory, we just had an absolute just rush to the top. For the next couple of weeks, yeah, January, we kind of had a little bit of consolidation. And then this is where we really started making our all-time highs at this point. And I'm not saying anything here, but I mean, after we had this is our infamous May dump. And we had a large consolidation out here for what looks to be about 3 or 4 months or so. I want to say we might be having a slight repeat if we're just going straight off the pattern here. But we did also have a ascension to the top, a bit of a consolidation here, probably August, September time. And I think we are about to break our previous all-time highs. I'm thinking that if we were to at least copy what we did here back in Jan time, and this hopefully is that time that we might be able to head closer up into 70,000. It wouldn't be outside of the realm of reality to get in this area, perhaps by the end of this year, which is the Q4, which in the previous videos we've been talking about is a big bullish opportunity. This is just in the weekly here. Obviously, this is looking good overall. Let me actually move down to some lower time frames. So now if we just take a look at our daily. I don't want to do that. We look at the daily here. So now the daily here, we see much the same, still bullish sentiment. Actually, I do want to mark where our last all-time high was and see how close we are to our all-time high this time around. Boy, oh boy, we are close. So we're about to punch a hole through the ceiling here. So we've got a lot of reasons to be bullish. But this is at least the absolute highest. And we did actually have a higher close not too long ago either. So that's actually good. But yeah, I mean, we are, in order to get above that all-time high, let's see here. Yeah, we're talking about, what is that, like about less than 1%? Boy, might we just do this today. If we actually just if we close it out there. But yeah, I mean, if you can tell already, I'm already quite bullish in Bitcoin. Also, for those who don't know already investing in Bitcoin myself. So please bear that in mind. Which is why please do your own research as well. I've done mine. That's why I'm in it too. But anyways, it's still bullish sentiment. We're punching up to the top. Volume is starting to look starting to pump a little bit more. I think we might see a little bit of trepidation because it is a new all-time high, and some people might fear that a possible large pushback might be coming. So I mean, this was going to be a big moment within the next 10 hours of how the next few days are going to look like. Because in the next 10 hours, if we get completely rejected and don't break through it, then we might have a little bit of a slight consolidation. If the bears really take over, then we could see a pullback. Probably, ideally back maybe about the 60,000 mark. If it's going to be a massive pullback, let me actually just verify that with a few more lines here. And this is still on the daily that we're looking at. That's a little bit lower. Yeah, I mean, suppose you could probably look at even here. Yeah, that just like I said. Yeah, I mean, next time it probably come back to 61,000 if it gets fully rejected from our about 65,000 mark or so. And could even go as far as 58,000 if we're just totally invalidated and people just sell off immediately. But at this rate, I mean, we're far above the 20-day moving average. The Tenkan or the change has blown far past the base, showing very strong bull sentiment, far deep in the green on the Ichimoku cloud. Um, I can't see it dumping massively, and if at all, it probably only dump at best maybe what has been done before, maybe about 3%, which is what I've been seeing continuously over the past couple of days. So, I think this is going to keep going up. It's going to keep pushing. It's going to get on new all-time highs, back down to the 4-hour. See if it's going to tell the same story. It's like a stairway to heaven right there. It's not bad. And so, yeah, even here as well, continuously bullish. This looks like a slight consolidation. Maybe it might pump down a little bit next 2 hours before it punches up again. Yeah, man, I think we're still feel like we're at heaven's door. Still RSI is coming up to a little bit closer to the overbought area. It might punch through that, but as we talked about in the previous videos, especially in the bull cycle, it's likely that it might trade above. At least some people run their RSI, up to 70, mine's up to 80, just to account for more volatility. But even then, it might just continue to trade up there for the time being. You see what the VPVR is showing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, quality control is far down here. However, I mean, this is just based on the fact that we don't have much experience up at this high levels for the cash. I mean, we're treading new territory. So maybe that's, for the adventurous, that might be the opportunity. That's just going to make the chart very loud. Yeah, I think at this point, I would just remain bullish on this. But because we are heading up to, so I mean, I guess if you were to ask for my non-financial advice, something that I would still regard you to do some research on, I would say that, I mean, if you have a position in BTC from a while back, then yep, keep staying in it. It's good. If you don't have any money in the market right now, doing some DCA in, which is dollar cost averaging, do a small amount in now and just see how the market turns out. May be the best play. Would you say don't put any money in right now? I feel I'd be more bullish to the extent that I would say not putting money in would probably be an opportunity cost. Because I think even if it pumps down just a little bit, it's going to continue to trend up. But yeah, overall, that's my sentiment. That's why I'm bullish on this. So maybe we can move it over to knxqtr and talk about ETH and shed some more alpha for us here.
Sure. Let's talk about ETH. Let me share my screen as usual. Hopefully you can see that. Can you see that? Okay, cool. So give me 1 second. Oh, good. So yeah, things are looking very bullish. The market is looking very bullish. All eyes on this weekly close for ETH in particular. You can see we still have about 4 days and 11 hours on this candle. However, if we close anywhere above, let's say around 3970, 3972 to be specific, it's very, very likely that we're going to move into the parabolic territory. Typically, Q4 is the most parabolic season. If you've missed all this upside from the beginning of 2021, don't worry. Q4 will make this look minuscule. You know, I expect ETH to at least hit 10K. 10K is sort of like a conservative figure for me. On this weekly chart, you can see that the stock RSIs are pointing up. Rejection from the neutral zone here, which is very, very nice. Yeah, it's trading above all moving averages right now. You know, typically on the weekly, you can see that it's held the 21-week moving average, which is the blue line here. It's held that quite well as support, worked down a couple of times, but it's always been bought back up as well. On the weekly, we did play out a little bit of bearish divergence, which, you know, was indicated by this dip here, where we bounced off the 21 weekly moving average, and now we are knocking on the door for new all-time highs. So very, very keen to get this one out, because the market is looking very good right now. I do think that we're going to move into this season where people think that it's not going to be able to go any higher, and it just keeps on pushing higher and higher. I really don't think we've seen anything just yet. So yeah, depending on whether we close above this level, I'd more or less say that we're sort of there already. You've had like this is the second retest of this weekly all-time high for ETH, which was about I think it was about 333, around that level, maybe a bit lower than 330. And we did wick higher to 4,387. But on a weekly close, we did close at 3,930. The jewel indicator is looking good. The EMA is pointing upwards. You've got the slower moving average, the slower stoke moving upwards too, pointing upwards, and you have you know, general upside posturing on the faster moving slope too, and you've got the green huddle your long signal right there as well. So everything is looking very, very bullish on the weekly. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. I think if you're not in yet, don't FOMO. As Crypto-pleb said, you know, DCAing is always a good option, or wait for a general pullback. There will be a pullback, but the question is, where do we bounce? And I strongly believe that we will make a higher low. You know, if we come back down now, if we come back down to about 3,500 on the weekly, that's not on any other time frame, just the weekly. You know, we wick down there and we buy back up throughout the week. That's absolutely fine. If we don't hold that, I'd look for a move back down to around about 350 before actually you know, making a move back up. But I do think that we are creating a higher low in the making, and we have also this this trend line. If we do come low again, you know, this trend line is perfectly in line with the 13-week EMA, which is the yellow here. A bounce off here would still be bullish for me. If we start to close down there, I'd get a little bit more worried, and then it would look for a move back down to about 3,000, 3,060, 3,070, around the area. But of course, we could always wick down too. So overall, very, very bullish on the weekly. I do think we're going to head for new all-time highs here. You can see ETH is actually pushing it now. It's around 3,968. You know, if we close here, it'd be very, very bullish. Volatility on the weekly, just spiking up again. It's nice to see. Coming back above the white line, which is a moving average as well, which is always a good sign when you do have a move up like this. So all things said and done, the weekly is looking very good. On the daily time frame, let's see what we have here.
BTC's already like BTC's already pumped up past the all-time high right now, and the bloody volume is just blown through.
Oh yeah, look, I think BTC and ETH is just leading the market right here. ETH, I just said it was at 3,968. It's now 3,983.
Let's pop it off.
I think that the market's really entering that parabolic phase. Well, it's just about to start. As I said, you guys aren't too late, but don't FOMO in at the top. Wait for a retrace. There will always be a retrace. I've learned the hard way. I've lost a lot of money lost a lot of money through FOMO, but there will always be a retrace, always. So on the daily here, you know, we have Stokes crossing back up again. We've got sort of like support trend line on the RSI and the stock RSI here, which is nice. We're heading, we're not quite in the critical zone, but once we get into the critical zone, I think that's where we really start to see growth on the daily chart. Again, we're trading above all moving averages, very bullish. Again, the 21 daily is acting as good support. The 13 EMA and the 21 EMA on the daily acts as good support, at least in this move up. The dual signal is giving us a little bit of a sort of like a pullback on the daily time frame. However, the moving average is pointing upwards, and that is what I really put sort of emphasis on here. So maybe a little bit of consolidation after we bust past the all new all-time highs. Jesus Christ, we're knocking on the door of $4,000 here. This is looking.
This is real time, bro.
This is in real time. It's looking very, very good. If we do absolutely bust past the new all-time highs, I would expect at least a retest of this level, a retest of the new all-time of this level here before moving back up. And then if we fail to hold that, then maybe move back down to 3744. If we do start closing below this, I would be a little bit more bearish and maybe sort of like measured move back down to about 3623, and then consequently 3440 around that level as well. RSI is looking good. Recently played out some hidden bullish divergence. We did confirm a higher low here, and we do have this higher low trend line on the RSI as well, which is very, very nice. So all things are in line. All things are looking good for ETH at least, to make a new all-time high. But I would keep my eye out on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin dominance, as Crypto-pleb went through, is going up. Bitcoin will give the general market its directional bias. So if we see an increase in Bitcoin, everything else in their USD value will move up as well. However, as Bitcoin dominance is going up, I would expect most alts to be losing value against Bitcoin. So do be aware of that too. Let's go on to the 4-hour here. 4-hour, again, looking very good. We have Stokes, the stock RSI crossing into the critical zone here. Very bullish. There's nothing bearish about this. Again, trading above all moving averages. The moving averages here are very, very close, which usually means that volatility is very low, and there will be some sort of big move to the upside, which we are actually seeing in real time now to the upside. Volatility also expanding from very, very low values, 3%, moving above the moving average of the volatility, which is very nice to see. I do expect us to carry on moving up here into the 90s while we do make new all-time highs. And if we do see that, that would be a very, very bullish sign. So very exciting things happening right now. The jewel is looking very good. This is a hodl your long signal. Everything's pointing upwards. You've got the slower, the faster Stokes pointing up. You've got the moving average pointing up. You've got your hodl your long signal here. I do think we're going to make a break for new all-time highs, which on a daily basis for ETH, I think, let me just zoom in here. The previous all-time high for ETH on a closing basis on the daily was 4343. So I do expect us to make a move back up to there within the next maybe week or so, before coming back down, maybe testing this level again. Yeah, just keep an eye out on the chart there. And on the very short-term timeframes, talking about the hourly here, you can see there's some nice volume on the buy candles, which is very, very nice. RSI is moving into the critical zone. Lovely, lovely trend line as well. Everything is in line. Look at that, it's almost perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches on this RSI trend line into the bullish control zone, into the critical zone, which is lovely. That followed by increase in price action, increase in volume. You even seen an increase in volatility here past the 50 level. Very good sign. Above the moving average of the volatility, and I expect this to play out in the longer term timeframes as well. So overall, ETH is looking very good. I would keep an eye out for what Bitcoin does, because it is leading the market right now, and ETH will probably mimic what Bitcoin does. As Crypto-pleb said, he's very, very bullish on Bitcoin, and he thinks it's moving up. And if it does, expect ETH to do the same thing as well. Just on the higher term timeframes, let's get some targets. You know, see where we're heading next. So on a daily chart, this pattern here is, you can refer to this as the cup and handle. You know, you have the cup here, and then this bit is your handle. And usually a measured move on this is the actual size of the cup. So here's your breakout line. We want to see a break above this level here, and if we do, with volume, with convincing volume, with volatility, we can expect a measured move. Obviously, it's not going to be straight up. It's not going to be straight. It's not going to be a straight line up, but it will sort of like stare. I'm expecting something like maybe like, you know, like this, something like this, to make a measured move up to this level. But it usually does play out. So the measured move here would be 6,270, around by that level. Let me delete that. If we look at if we draw a fib line here from the all-time high on this move to the all-time low, and you can see that's not quite around the two Fibonacci extension level, but it's around about that level. So I'd be looking at a move to around about, you know, in between 6,300 and around about 6,500 is the measured move on that. But yeah, it's looking very, very bullish, and I do think we do reach 10K, probably even higher than that by the end of Q4. Not to put my moon boy hat on it or anything like that, but I do think we push above 10K. I think we make a move to, you know, more towards 12, 15. That's about, you know, a 4x from here, 3-4x. And I don't think that's too much to ask for Ethereum. So there you go. Market looking very bullish. I wanted to give you this quick update on what ETH and BTC are both doing, and it's looking very, very good.
Absolutely. The market is absolutely killing it right now. I mean, actually, I'm just gonna do a quick little sneak peek here. This is what we're looking at right now for the real time. I knew just a few little percentage points had to go up, and right now it's just blasted.
Where did it wick up to? It wicked
up to 66.
66 too.
Yeah, just blew 2.4 while we're talking. Probably
that's
somebody new.
That's new all-time highs.
Yeah, we
made new all-time highs.
So
that's a very bullish sign.
Yeah, this is, look at that volume. People are flooded in right now. Look at that. That is insane. Yeah, look at
looking very, very nice.
Yeah, so this is on the 30-minute. So I think in this next 6 minutes, if we close above here, that closes for 30 minutes. We start closing up here for the 1 hour and the 4 hour. And I mean, as long as we just keep closing up here, we stay above that line. That will be
just trend continuation.
Deep bull. So
yeah,
that's this is good. But yeah, so that's a market update from the lads at the daily close. And we look forward to making another TA video where we can give you after action review, where we can either talk about why you should have waited for the pullback to yeet some money in, or why it's already taken off to the moon and you got to get it where you can with some DCA. But you'll see that in the next TA video. Will come up in the next few days, so please pay attention. And if you want to be the first one to see it and not miss it, you know, hit that bell notification so you see it come through. Definitely like us, like our channel. Definitely give us a subscription as well, so you never miss we get another video out. Also, give us a comment. Let us know what you think we're saying right, saying wrong. You know, we always love to have some criticism. Always looking to improve. Also, if there's any kind of coins that you like us to cover, then we'd love to hear from you first. But without further ado, the pump's going on, so I hope it be with you. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. May the pump be with you guys. May the pump be with you.